Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhaskadya Desatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Good morning, dear devotees. So today we are getting to listen about Prahlad Maharaj. What is the lesson he's given to our life? Our Bhakta Prahlad. Unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination, persons very much inclined towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified by his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord in this way can we be freed from material contamination. Naishang matis tavat uru kramangring sprishati anarta pagama yat arta maiyasham padarasho bishekam niskinchananam navrinitayavat. Srila Prabhupada explains, becoming Krishna consciousness brings about anartha apagama, the disappearance of all anarthas, the miserable conditions we have unnecessarily accepted. The material body is the basic principle of these unwanted material conditions. The entire Vedic civilization is meant to relieve one from unwanted miseries. But persons bound by the laws of nature do not know the destination of life. As described in the previous verse, Ishatantriyam urudamni bada, they are conditioned by the three strong modes of material nature. The education that keeps the conditioned soul bound life after life is called material education. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained that material education expands the influence of Maya. Such an education induces a conditioned soul to be increasingly attracted to materialistic life and to stray further and further away from the liberation from unwanted miseries. One may ask why highly educated persons do not take to Krishna consciousness. The reason is explained in this verse. Unless one takes shelter of a bona fide, fully Krishna conscious spiritual master, there's no chance of understanding Krishna. The educators, scholars, and big political leaders worshipped by millions of people cannot understand the goal of life and take to Krishna consciousness. For they have no. The educators, scholars, and big political leaders Worshipped by millions of people cannot understand the goal of life and taking to Krishna consciousness, for they have not accepted the bona fide spiritual master and the Vedas. Therefore, in the Mundaka Upanishad 3.2.3, it is said, Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo Namedaya Nabahuna Shrutena. One cannot become self-realized simply by having an academic education, by presenting lectures in an erudite way, Pravachanena Labhya, or by being an intelligent scientist who discovers many wonderful things. One cannot understand Krishna unless one is graced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only one who has surrendered to a pure devotee of Krishna and takes the dust of his lotus feet can understand Krishna. First, one must understand how to get out of the clutches of Maya. The only means is to become Krishna conscious. And to become Krishna conscious very easily, one must take shelter of a realized soul, a Mahat or Mahatma, whose only interest is to engage in the service of the Lord, Supreme Lord. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu mamparta daivim prakritim ashrita bhajantyananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Prita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Therefore, to end the unwanted miseries of life, one must become a devotee. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate sura. One who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna consistently manifests all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. Yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyaite katiti yartang prakashanti mahatmana. Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.23. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. The Lord is obtained yavam evam vrinute tenalabhyas tasyaiva atma shinute tanam swam. The Lord is obtained only by one whom he himself chooses. To such a person he manifests his own form. Mundaka Upanishad 3.2.3. These are Vedic injunctions. One must take shelter of a self-realized spiritual master, not a materially educated scholar or politician. One must take shelter of a niskinchana, a person engaged in devotional service and freed from material contamination. That is the way to return home, back to Godhead. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Shakshun Meditam Jene Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manubistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadati. Jai Prabhupada Patita Pavana. So Prahlad Maharaj is that type of a person. That absolutely highest qualified devotee. Because he has fully taken shelter of Narada Muni. And Narada Muni's instruction was so clear. Always depend on the Lord. Don't worry about anything. Whatever the Lord will provide, it will be perfect. And then the father wanted to kill him. And he just kept chanting. Okay, what's the next? What's your next attempt? I will throw you to the snakes. And actually, poisonous snakes. So they had a pit full of poisonous snakes. And they said, now let's put Prahlad in the middle of the snakes. And they put him there. He sat down and he started Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Prahlad was thinking for the welfare of the snakes. Oh, my dear snakes, how you have come into this body. Please listen to the holy name. And the snakes surrounded him and started listening to him and shaking their heads like the snakes do when the snake charmer is doing them. They go and listen to the music. But they listen, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And Hiranyakashipu saw them. Not possible. No. I'm trying to kill this rascal son, and he's chanting and dancing with the snakes. Get him out of there. So he said, bye-bye, dear snakes. You have done so amazing, influencing. So amazing, so amazing. The activities of Prahlad, the pure devotee, he has given us all the chance to take shelter of Krishna in difficult situations. What are those difficult situations? You don't know. Just a few days ago, one devotee had a traffic accident. He called me. And even though he was very badly beaten, he was glorifying Krishna. Oh, it could have been much worse. It could have been much worse. Actually, he was suffering like anything, but he was glorifying Krishna. Tatenu kampam shushamikshama. Always thinking Krishna is behind everything. Every situation in life, Krishna is behind. It's not easy to see, but we need to see it. There's no other way to see it. So then Hiranyakashipu said, now, we definitely kill him. We throw him off a cliff. Big cliffs. You know, there are some cliffs, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer high. Cliffs. Angel Falls in Venezuela. It's more than 1 kilometer high. So they went up there, the demons. Okay, but now you get it. Room. They threw him. And he chanted as he was falling. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Now, this is not a joke. In Ecuador, 2 devotees, one of them is an acharya now. They were driving in a bus when they were young brahmacharis. And the bus went off a cliff with 50 people. And these two devotees, they were sitting in the end of the bus. The window opened and they both flew out of the bus, and with their cloths they were hanging in the trees which were there. And the whole bus fell down, everybody died. And the two devotees were hanging there in the trees. So this is not a Bhagavatam story. Every Bhagavatam story is fantastic, it's absolute, but this is real life with testimony. I mean, how can you be thrown out of a bus through a window? Already that is impossible. Because the windows, it's inconceivable. And then there's a few trees on that cliff, and these two devotees hanging both in the trees with their cloths. Finally, they somehow got back. What an experience. So Prahlad, he was just received by the grace of the Lord. Softly he was put down under the cliff. So when the demons came down to look at this squashed body, they saw him sitting there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mahatma nastumang partat diving prakriti mashtata. This verse from Bhagavad Gita, we should follow the Mahatmas like Prahlad Maharaj. Taking shelter. Now taking shelter of the pure devotees. That's very, very important. But there's something more. We have to try to please all the devotees in our surrounding, especially if they're little older devotees. We should please everybody for preaching. We have to please everybody, because who is going to take up Krishna consciousness if he is not, what you say? Having the right attitude. So we're learning from Prahlad the right attitude. He even tried to please Hiranyakashipu. When he did not die, it did not please Hiranyakashipu, because Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill him. But Prahlad kept praying for his father. Oh, Father, please try to understand. I'm serving somebody higher than you. What? Higher than me? I will show you who is the highest. I will. Next. Put him in the fire. Holika. Holika was one sister of Hiranyakashipu, and she was capable of going through the fire without being touched. That was her capacity. And it is celebrated in India until today. So Holika had that benediction. So then Hiranyakashipu said, if she takes him into the fire, then he'll burn, and she gets out safe. So it happened. Holika was told, now you take him, there's the big fire, go, take him in the fire. And she stepped into the fire. And her power of not being burned in the fire transferred to Prahlad. And he went out on the other side, and she burned in the fire. Holika was finished. And Hiranyakashipu was totally frustrated. I cannot believe my sister burned. I tried to kill this demon son, and I burned my own sister. So there was quite some energy. When you take shelter of a pure devotee, there's a good energy, incredible energy. but also many tests may come. By the way, when you're with Vaishnavas, should always look in their eyes. Have I pleased them? Are they pleased? Now, why should a devotee be pleased? A devotee is pleased because you're trying to please the pure devotees. Trying to please your guru, you're trying to please Krishna. Because if you're just, like some people in politeness, they may go to somebody who says diplomatically, "Oh, my Lord, you're so incredible." But it is diplomacy, is not the real. So that will not please Krishna nor the devotees. But therefore we should always look, actually we should look at the feet of the devotees, but then we can also look at the eyes. Are you pleased with me? Am I doing the things to please them? Because even when you're a preacher, if you don't please the people who are listening, then tell me please, how? How will you get them to be advanced in spiritual life if they're not pleased with you? So therefore, even in a philosophical challenge, we should be talking in such a way that the person is charmed by the argument and wants to go deeper. It's all about charming. The charming, we are all charmed by Prabhupada to come to Krishna consciousness with his kirtan, with his books, with so many things. We are charmed. You see Prabhupada, when he chants japa, when Prabhupada chants kirtan, when Prabhupada lectures, it is so charming. Even though he may say hard words, he may say, "You're all fools and rascals trying to enjoy this material world. Wake up, sleeping soul. Stop sleeping in the lap of the witch Maya." For Prabhupada had quite some good things to say, and he was also strong. Said, like here, in this purport, we are hearing about mundane knowledge and spiritual knowledge. The spiritual master, he gives spiritual knowledge. The mundane university on that, they just give mundane knowledge. I've been criticized because I've been preaching against universities. Some devotees say, "Why you say that? We want our children to go to university and get a good title and get a good job in this world." Well, I just follow the Srimad Bhagavatam. I just follow Srila Prabhupada. They say this type of knowledge, it may most likely drive you away from devotion. It will make you proud and it will make you following wrong concepts, wrong theories. So I'm not against education. I'm against the wrong education. Devotees should also try to educate. But here the verse says, "Yasya deva parabhaktir yata deve tata guru." Only to those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. After Svetasvatara Upanishad. Yes, Yateva Parabhakti. So, whether you understand something or you don't understand something, that depends on grace. By the Lord, the Supreme. And that type of knowledge you don't get in university. That you get by sitting at the feet of a Vaishnava and hearing his commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. So those who go to university, if they're very fixed devotees and they go and preach there, that's okay. Devotees can go, but if they go, they're gullible to simply swallow up what these teachers say, these atheistic teachers. He's going to be affected, most likely. We have seen it many times. Of course, we have also seen people who went to university and then came in contact with the devotees and they surrendered anyway, because what is this mundane knowledge? Full of speculation. And so, especially the scientists today, we have just had a recent exhibition, a very big exhibition, where practically all the doctors and scientists in the world succumbed to a murderous plan. And even they should all have known better, they shut up. They didn't say anything. Or they even participated in the murderous plan. Can you believe that? All these doctors, professors, great epidemiologists or whatever they are, microscientists, biologists, quantum scientists, they all kept mum. Why an incredible murderous plan was being executed. And those who did dare to speak out, they were immediately persecuted, blackmailed, thrown out from their works. Unbelievable. All this is the product of university knowledge. Zero benefit. So Prahlad Maharaj said, no, we have to listen. We have to get our learning from at the feet of a Vaishnava. And the feet of a Vaishnava, you see, it is, we should have the association of great Vaishnavas. But we should respect all Vaishnavas. We should be very cautious that they will be pleased with us, because then we can serve them properly. Only when the Vaishnavas are pleased with us, then we can serve them properly. How does that manifest? Well, it depends on the relationship. You know, Upadeshamrita explains, dadati pratikrinati guyam akyati prichati bhungte bojayate chaiva sat pritim priti lakshanam. Who knows that verse? What is the translation of this verse? 6 types of loving exchanges with the Vaishnava. Yes. Number 1.
Giving prasad.
Tat vidi pranipatina pariprashnena sevana. Huh?
Tat vidi pranipatina, approach a spiritual master, serve him, asking questions, he will reveal the truth because you've seen the truth. Tat vidi pranipatina.
Is following the devotees is, first of all, we greet them, especially if they're senior devotees, and especially if they're in charge of something. Because being in charge of anything is a great burden. Because you're in charge not only for the temple, you're also in charge for the well-being of all the people inside the temple. So we approach them, we say, present ourselves. And then we may give a gift. Always giving gifts to devotees is very good. We may also receive a gift. We may. Like, what's a gift? If you can can stay in a temple, take prasadam, that's a gift. If you can listen to a class, that's a gift. If you can give a class, that's even a bigger gift. If you can go on Harinam, it's a gift. So devotees are always giving gifts to the world. So the intelligent people, they give the gifts to the devotees. The next thing is, you reveal your mind. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. Please give me some enlightened words to how do you see me? How do you feel is my current condition? And then the devotee, very merciful, he will say, oh, very interesting, yes. And then he will give you some guidance according to time, place, and circumstance, according to his inspiration. In the end of it, we are also depending on the divine inspiration of the Vaishnavas. And last not least, we offer some prasadam. That means we offer our food to Krishna and the Vaishnavas. And then we get the remnants. They also give to us. So in other words, very intensive loving relationship is established. After this, anything can come. Beautiful. But this loving relationships should be established. Dadati pratikrinati, guyam akyati prichati, bunte pujayate chaiva. So, Rupa Goswami knows it all, no? He's really the insider. He got it directly from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no? And Mahaprabhu throws something on top. What he throws on top? The symphony of bhakti is Trina tapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadina kirtaniyat sadari. This verse, what a verse. That you feel yourself insignificant and that you feel blessed by the association of the devotee who's in front of you, not the devotees on the other side of the world. Some people, my guru and me, but the devotees in their very surrounding, they bark at each other. This is not very nice. But, the guru, my guru, full surrender to the pure devotee who are absent. That's not the idea. So, Trinata Pisunichna, you should feel yourself more insignificant than a straw in a street, more forbearing than a tree. That's another one, forbearing than a tree. The tree, he never gets angry. The tree never goes, leave me alone. The tree is always tolerant, he stands there. Even if the other person says something you don't like, go. Shakes a few leaves in the wind. Forbearing. And then Mahaprabhu says, and free of the desire to be recognized, but to be ready to give honor to all others. So Mahaprabhu's instruction for the Mahamantra chanting is not exactly cheap, no? He's really pointing out what benefit you will really get if you want to have this Harinam mantra in your heart established forever. Krishna consciousness forever. Sadhu Sangha forever. Devotional service forever. Several times it was said in the purport here, devotional service. Now, devotional service is like saying holy name. Okay, holy name. Anybody can say holy name. Anybody can say devotional service. But what does it really mean? What is the impact of it? That is, devotional, unalloyed, uninterrupted service attitude towards the divine goal. Wow. Where you have that attitude, you have to start dancing to meet such a devotee in that attitude, full of joy. So the holy name is understanding the holy name, and devotional service is practicing devotional service in the company of devotees, not business devotionals, not business service. This is one of the problems our devotees have, because somehow or other we have to make a living, or somehow or other we have to face the problems of this world. And sometimes we hope that in the association with the devotees, we get that chance. And of course there is some chance, but that chance is only for service, not for getting angry, not for comparing, not for envy. For example, in India, some devotees who want to make a mission, or they want to open a temple, or they want to do anything where they need money, they can go out and preach, and from what they obtain for their preaching, they can take a commission for their private use. But what is their private use? They're devotees. Devotees' private use is also service of Krishna. Devotee's private use does not mean mundane use. Of course, if the devotee goes out and he buys some stupid karmi music with the money, then it becomes mundane. But devotees generally, maintaining the devotees, this is part of devotional service. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but some people, they get a commission for what they're collecting for Krishna. Others, they may get a minimal support from the temple because they're doing something very important which nobody else wants to do. So then it's something necessary. But if we get envious and jealous, and this person has more facility than me, or anything like that, very easily relationship turns sour. Very easily. The matter of fact is, when there's no money, things are more easy. When Lakshmi comes and people are getting certain favors from the Lakshmi which is coming, then very easy the Kali Yuga mind enters, and we become envious and sour, or some cheaters come in. That's what the devotees have to manage. Have to manage the temples honestly. Manage the temples transparently. That's all included in Trinatapi Sunichinata Roapi Saishnuna. All this is included. And Prabhupada was very strict. For example, he was very strict in the finances. He said, every penny which comes in and every penny goes out must be noted down. And proper accounting has to be kept for Krishna. I know some devotees, they're sent out for shopping. And when they come back, the treasurer asks him, where is the return of the leftover money? And they say, you don't trust me. What is this? They don't bring a receipt or anything, no? That's wrong. We should be transparent in Krishna's money. Radharani is Krishna's treasurer. She's very transparent. And if we are transparent, then there's less envy. Anyhow, this is a practical thing, but Trinatapi Sunichana means you have to do it in the middle of managing a temple. It's not only in a big Vaishnava festival where you say, oh, my dear Vaishnava Thakur, Trinata Piso Nichinata Rora Pisa Ishnuna, Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, and then he says, yes, very nice to meet you, I also love you. And he goes there and goes there. No, that has to be practiced where we see each other every day, where we have to deal with the practical responsibilities to make a temple work, to make Govinda's restaurant work, to make the Krishna Yoga studio work, to make the agriculture work. It's not that easy. And Prabhupada was the genius. He was the absolute genius. And I have a lot of experience, but just a speck of Prabhupada's genius he had. But in that speck, I tell you, first of all, when you take decisions, there's many people that are ready to criticize you. But if you don't take a decision, there's something like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, very difficult situations in human life one has to take. To do it or not to do it. Like somebody goes in that mood, shall I get married or shall I take to the path of renunciation? That's a question people have in their mind, sometimes young. I decided to become a sannyasi only for one reason, because I saw that the sannyasis were more close to Prabhupada. I said, if I take sannyas, I can also be more close to Prabhupada, so I also want to be a sannyasi. I was too young to really understand what that all means. Of course, we read Bhagavad Gita, no? Some idea we have, but that was my motivation. I wanted to be close to my guru. Anyhow, the daily affairs in Krishna consciousness are a real good school. A real good school for becoming humble, for becoming tolerant, for becoming compassionate, for becoming grateful. We have to be grateful with all the devotees. Sometimes we have the saying, oh, I'm in the temple, I'm tolerating so many difficulties. Wait a second, my friend. You're tolerating so many difficulties. Have you asked about the difficulties you are creating and which the others had to tolerate by being with you? Please turn it around. Others are tolerating you and still they're accepting you in the family, no? That is the proper attitude. So therefore Mahaprabhu says, give honor to all without expecting any honor for yourself. Why did Mahaprabhu say that? Because he knew what ashram life looks like. He knew what he was getting us into. Can you imagine what Prabhupada did? He took hippies, materialists, of all strifes of life, and he put them together in little ashrams, in houses, to live together. The only thing was there, okay, women have to be a separate room. Everything else, when I went to Paris to meet Srila Prabhupada first time, the temple was in a one-family house in a neighborhood. And we were more than 200 devotees. from all over Europe, England, Scandinavia. And the garage was like 60 people were sleeping in the garage. Others were sleeping in the cars. Others and Prabhupada was in that very nice, happy. In that house I was initiated. In a room smaller than this. Only this part. Prabhupada was sitting and then we were coming in, get the japa. So, yes, Prabhupada and Krishna, they knew what it means to live together with many people. How many challenges, how many ego shocks there may be. In Chile we say, oh, you are drowning yourself in a cup of water. Yes, that's possible. Sometimes people, because one thing we have to understand, that Maya means you always want to get out of the temple. Maya wants to pull you out into seclusion or bad association. Maya doesn't want you to stay in the temple. So therefore, the mind will always go, oh, nice beaches, oh, nice this, nice that, I like to go there. But wait a second, we need you here. What do you mean you need me? I belong to nobody. Yes, you belong to Krishna. Anyhow, so Maya always wants to pull us out. And Krishna wants to always pull us up. Pull us up means more responsibility. You take more responsibility, not less. And by taking responsibility in devotional service, our service becomes real service. By working in harmony with the devotees, devotional service becomes real devotional service. By earning or collecting Lakshmi and giving it to Krishna, it becomes really devotional service. It's not devotional service when it's only in my own little realm of interest. I may consider my realm of interest also devotional service. Fine, that's good. But what about your interaction with the realm of devotional services you are associating with? There's many realms of devotional service. Like the mother, her realm of devotional service is making sure child is safe, child is dry, no stools, food is supplied. That is the realm of devotional service of the mother. And only she looks at these things. You may be 5 meters away from her, you don't think about it. It's not your job. But mother, topmost job. So in a similar way, somebody is in charge of the vehicles, or like here in Berlin, somebody's in charge of the bicycles. Well, a bicycle also has to be safe in order to ride nicely on it. Bicycles, somebody told me, riding bicycle is the most dangerous of all methods of transport. Because you're going at high speed without any protection. You run into anything, it can hurt yourself. I fell off the bicycle a few years ago because it had this bicycle with this stick up there and with a devotee, and I got entangled. I fell over. So that's why I drive on bicycle with the women version. So safety. So somebody has a service of looking after the bicycles. It's a great responsibility. Of course, every driver of a bicycle is also in charge of his own bicycle. He has to make himself sure. In other words, this realm of devotional service. Somebody's a treasurer. His realm of devotional service, every penny which comes in here and goes out from this temple must be noted down. It's not your devotional service, unless you are the treasurer. But you may go to the treasurer, oh, give me something, I need to buy something for this. Then he gives you some money, and then you go and get it. You bring back the change and the receipt. Jai. Haribo. Everything nectar. Realms of devotional service. Somebody's the president. He has a realm of devotional service. He must know everybody who's in the temple. What are they doing? Why they are here? What talents do they have? If I don't know the talents of somebody, how can I engage them properly? So practically a temple president, he has to be a psychologist. He has to be a public relationist. He has to be a good lecturer. Hopefully he's a good singer too. He has to be a good lawyer to understand, because always some conflicts come. He has to know what is the law. He has to know how to decorate the temple nicely, so he has to be artistic. Boy, a temple president, really, he is under pressure. But it is devotional service. And devotional service means responsibility, and devotional service means pressure. If you are ready to accept pressure, then take up responsibility. You say, no, I don't want to. Why not? You're lazy? No, I'm not qualified. Okay, then help the one who's qualified. Huh? Either you cut the wood or you give somebody else the axe. But don't sit there with the axe and not cutting the wood, because there may be only one axe and the wood needs to be cut. Like this. It's all practical. Devotional service means something very practical, down to earth. Prabhupada was down to earth. He gathered these hippies. I mean, when I say these hippies, yesterday they wanted to commit suicide. The other day they were full on drugs. The other one had a child, but he didn't look after it. Like, the hippie world was a big mess. And he brought all these people together and said, now we do devotional service, okay? Yes, Swamiji, what you want us to do? He coordinated us into service. There was one devotee in England. He was American devotee, pretty intelligent. Go for it. One of those, go for it. So he became the temple president. Prabhupada went to India. But he was a rough nature and he was not dealing so nicely with the devotees. So the devotees made a meeting without him, said, we don't want him to be the temple president anymore. We want somebody else. So they wrote a letter and they gave him, you're not the president anymore. So, but Prabhupada left me as a president. Yes, but we don't want it. So he came to India. He flew to India to complain to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, yes. They don't want me to be the president. They voted me out. Prabhupada said, you mean they all said they don't want you to be the president? Yes. Prabhupada said, well then, of course you cannot be the temple president if nobody wants you to be the temple president. Well, Prabhupada give full recognition to the choice of the devotees. So Krishna consciousness is it is a true democracy in a sense, but it's all based on responsibilities. It's not political. Because political, that is motivated. Devotees who serve Krishna are not motivated. Only one thing comes when it comes to increasing responsibility. Sometimes you want to increase your responsibility, in others they don't see it, they don't want you, they don't help you. Then you have to say, okay, by the grace of Guru and Krishna and Vaishnavas, now I go on my own and take up more responsibilities. That's what Srila Prabhupada did. Srila Prabhupada went on his own to start his Vaishnava family. He didn't have anybody give him, well, some god brothers, they said, okay, very, very good, very nice, but it was on his own. So, Prahlad Maharaj is giving us these examples. Tolerance, sweetness, and Hiranyakashipu was finished. But he was very lucky, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was about to appear for him personally to rip him apart. That is the activity of Narasinghadev. So he saved us. He saved Prahlad, he saved us. And then what Prahlad did? Prahlad, he asked for mercy for Hiranyakashipu. Believe it or not. That's the nature of a devotee. Always. Bist du noch da, Mayapur? Ich gebe dir eine Telefonnummer, die du anrufen kannst, oder wo du deine WhatsApp. Can you give me your WhatsApp, Audaria? What is your number? Your number in WhatsApp? Oh. Not email. WhatsApp. Number. Number. Number, yes.
WhatsApp. I have two headphones.
I only need one. I need one.
One. German?
Whatever. Ich kann meine Nummer nicht auswendig. 49
plus 49
plus 49 159 0 6 5 10 128. Please send your WhatsApp contact there and I'll contact you. Any questions? Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah, this instruction to smear the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees, isn't it like that?
Yes.
Yeah. That seems a little bit impractical, or in some sense difficult to do.
That is symbolical. But when you come to Vrindavan, you should roll in the dust, because it's Braj Raj. Braj Raj, where Krishna stepped himself. So, but here in Berlin, the dust then you just touch a person's feet and smear it on your head. This is symbolic, but sweet. And you see that the Indian people, they have it very much in their blood. they teach it to their children. Go touch his feet. They touch the feet of the uncle, of the elder brothers. They really have this. This is deep inside, that you always need to be blessed by those who are responsible, senior. It's very, very important that there's no negative energy towards my seniors, to those who take responsibility. If any difficulty is there, should always be clarified. You see, there's no problem the devotees cannot solve in a few words. But they have a joke. Yesterday we were speaking about that joke. We were talking about putting satellites in the sky. And some countries have satellites, some people have no satellites. So there was a joke. Do the Argentinians have satellites in the sky? And somebody says, no problem, they just get up, stand on top of their false ego, and they can put the satellite up there. So it's just a joke. Please excuse me, dear Argentine-born Vaishnavas. I worship all of you. But it's funny, no? The ego is so big, no, that we sometimes cannot see it.
Only German's ego is bigger.
German egos, that's...
Ultimate.
We are competing with all the egos in the world.
Not yours, of course. Mine only.
Can you say a little more about this feet? Because all the songs...
About who?
About the feet. They ask when children came here and they ask about why their feet are here from Srila Prabhupada.
Oh.
And...
Why? I don't follow.
No, the feet. Why is that so important?
Padma.
The feet.
Yeah, why there is so much, all the songs start, the lotus feet of our spiritual master. So why in Indian culture is
Well,
why the feet?
generally the feet are considered the lowest part of the body, most insignificant. But in devotion we approach somebody through the feet, we meditate on the feet. Because if we even meditate on his lotus feet, then what to speak his lotus heart? What to speak his lotus eyes and smile? It's just a way of coming down to go up in the meditation. So, and to put the feet on your heart, or the gopis, they take Krishna's lotus feet and put them on their breast. Haridas Thakur, when he was about to leave the body, he took Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and clamped to them on his chest. So this is just very beautiful, and it's just one of, you may call it symbolic, because it's pretty much an Indian symbolic thing. But I've seen feet in many places also, drawings of feet and so. But in the ancestral cave drawings and things like that. But we want the feet of our Guru and Vaishnavas and Krishna. Be more humble. Go to the feet of Srila Prabhupada. That's why we have them here. You shouldn't say, hey Prabhupada, I'm here. I'm your tough devotee. Huh? You come into his face and say, hey. No, you throw yourself at his feet. This is a story of Krishna, Arjuna, Yudhisthira. Arjuna went to Krishna's feet. Yudhisthira, Duryodhana rushed to his face because he wanted to be seen first. Krishna opens the eyes, hey, here I am. But Krishna looked down to his feet. So,
temple.
Any other question? Krishnamrita? Actually, we are very grateful to Gaur Govinda. Gaur Govinda is the perfect question maker. He always comes up with some interesting questions to give more visions, different angles to look upon the subject. It's a good talent. And if we have questions and we don't clarify them, then it's not so good. Yes?
One last question. Is it not that Prahlad Maharaj is also incarnated in Haridas Thakur? Or is it, and Lord Brahma also, isn't it?
This cross incarnation means that attitudes are reflected in other devotees, which make us think. So that is often mentioned there. Brahma, Haridas Thakur, then and there's sometimes I don't remember all these references, but Swarup Damodar and all of these identities, especially compared to the Krishna Lila then. What's in Krishna Lila shows up there again. Prahlad Maharaj. Srivas Thakur, Narada Muni.
Yes, Srivasa. Gadata, Radharani.
Raghunath. All glories to Sri Vrindavan Dham. All glories to Yamuna Kunja. Raghunath, you remember Autareya? He wants to come back and help managing something there. Yes. No more questions?